Hello, everyone, and welcome to Acupressure Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alexa Halsey from Encircle Acupuncture in Nashville, and today we are talking about post-vaccine symptoms. So as more and more people are getting the COVID-19 vaccine, people are experiencing some side effects from the vaccine. And so today, I want to show you some acupressure that you can do on yourself if you experience some vaccine side effects, just to sort of ease those symptoms. So we will get started with that in just a minute, but first we're going to start off and just to take a minute to slow down, check in with our bodies, and see how we're feeling. So just sit comfortably, feet on the floor, nice and relaxed spine and pelvis, and just take some comfortable breaths and check in with your body and see how you're feeling today. I'm going to close my eyes for a couple of breaths. You can close your eyes or keep them open, whatever's comfortable for you. Just take some breaths. And tune in with your body. Check in, see if your body's telling you anything. Notice if you have pain or muscle tension anywhere. Maybe you're holding stress somewhere and you didn't realize it. See how you're feeling. I today am feeling a little hungry because I haven't had lunch yet, and a little bit of a headache probably because I haven't had lunch yet. And we'll check back in with ourselves at the end of our session and see if we feel any different. All right, so we're also going to do a chi gathering exercise like we always do. So you can do this standing or seated. I'm going to stand up, but you do what's comfortable for you. And you're going to stand or sit with your feet about hip width apart. If you're standing, you want a little bend in your knees. We don't want any locked knees. And you're going to take an inhale and raise your arms overhead with your palms up. So inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to bring your palms face down and slowly lower to bring your palms to rest on your lower abdomen. So let's do that a few times. Inhale. And exhale. And as you're inhaling, you want to gather in some chi from your surroundings and bring it to rest in your lower dantian. That's your lower center of energy. Just gather in as much chi as you need and bring it into your lower dantian. Let's do one more inhale. And exhale. Good. All right, we've gathered some chi. Now we're going to take that chi that we have gathered, rub your palms together, and get that chi flowing out to your hands and fingertips. Get them nice and warm. It's taken my palms a minute to warm up today. But get that chi flowing out to your fingertips. All right. And your palms should feel nice and tingly and warm. Maybe your skin has changed colors. That means we're ready to go with some acupressure. Okay, so like I said, we're talking about post-vaccine symptoms today because as more people are getting vaccinated, that's great news, but people are experiencing some side effects from the vaccine, so we're going to talk about that today. I had my second shot a few weeks ago, and I definitely had some side effects from my second shot. My side effects started exactly 12 hours after my second shot, and I was in bed and I woke up with really severe chills. Well, I wasn't even asleep yet. I just was lying in bed trying to sleep, and I realized that I was really cold and I was experiencing chills. So I piled more blankets on, and it didn't matter how many blankets I had, I was still cold. And then I had muscle aches, a lot of tension up here in my neck, just felt achy all over, was really tired, headaches, and just really did not feel well at all. So in traditional Chinese medicine, these are all symptoms of what we call an attack of exterior wind cold. And so these symptoms for me went on for a while. The next day, the chills were gone, but I was still really tired the next day and had a pretty bad headache. And that lasted all throughout the next day also. So yes, those are symptoms of an attack of an exterior wind cold. So in traditional Chinese medicine, we have really three broad disease categories. We have external pathogens, internal factors, and then the miscellaneous causes of disease. And so we're talking about the external pathogens today. And there are 6 pathogenic factors, and they often combine. And so what I was experiencing were the symptoms of an attack of wind cold. So that's a pathogen that's invading from the outside, and it displays characteristics of both wind and cold. The cold accounted for the chills, and the wind accounted for the body aches and just wanting to cover up. So when you're experiencing vaccine side effects, that's not an actual pathogen invading your body. Really, it's just your immune system kind of doing a rehearsal for the real thing if you do encounter the actual virus. So if you're experiencing those side effects, the good news is that you don't actually have an invading pathogen, but your body is exhibiting all of the same symptoms as it would if you did encounter the actual virus. So wind cold is a combination of pathogenic factors. When these theories of traditional Chinese medicine were developed, there wasn't the understanding that we have today of germs and microbes and viruses and bacteria. So these theories were based on observation of the natural world, and they talked about pathogens in terms of how things behave in nature. And so we use these metaphors like wind and cold to describe disease processes in the body. So like I said, when you have the vaccine side effects, you don't actually have a pathogen invading, you're just experiencing some symptoms. So the points that I'm going to show you today are going to just help to ease some of those side effect symptoms. But you can be assured when you have the vaccine that you're not actually it's not actually a pathogen invading. It's just your body getting ready to encounter that pathogen sometime in the future. So the first point I'm going to show you is here at the base of the skull, and this point is gallbladder 20. So it's located right at the base of the skull on the back of the neck, and you have 2 muscles that come together. There's your sternocleidomastoid muscle, which is this sort of diagonal muscle on your neck, and that attaches up here at the base of the skull. And then you have your trapezius muscle, which comes down your neck and shoulders, which also attaches up here. And where they come together, there's a depression. So I'm going to turn around and show you on me. You probably won't be able to hear me very well as I'm facing the other side, but here's where it's located. Just right there at the back of the neck. And if you feel around, you'll feel a depression there at the base of the skull. So just feel around, find a tender spot. There are a couple of points located along this base of the skull. So feel for a tender spot. And when you find a tender spot, you're probably at gallbladder 20. It's often tender on people even if you are not having post-vaccine symptoms, because a lot of us have neck tension and it tends to collect right in here at the base of the skull. So this point is gallbladder 20, and the name of this point in Chinese means wind pool. And it is understood that this point right here at the base of the skull is where exterior wind invades the body. And so it's important to protect this area of the body if we're going to be outdoors in either the wind or the cold. Because if you cover this area up with a scarf or with a heavy coat, then that's going to protect the back of your neck from being invaded by a pathogenic factor. So to do acupressure on this point, I like to use my thumbs and find this depression at the base of the skull and inhale, and then as you exhale, just gently press upward and massage in gentle circles. So I'm going to do that turned around so you can see on the back of my head. So I'm going to inhale and then exhale. Just like that. Just rub it in some gentle circles. You don't want to press too hard at this point because it can actually give you a headache if you press too long and hard at this point. So you don't need to dig in there. Just gentle upward pressure, slow circles. And what this is going to do is it is going to help to relieve that achy sensation that you feel when you're first coming down with something, when you feel like you're getting sick, or if you're feeling chills, or if you want to cover up. We call that aversion to wind, when you just want to cover up in blankets because your body doesn't want more wind invading from the outside. When there is an attack of wind, the traditional treatment in Chinese medicine is to induce sweating. So we want to sweat out the pathogen. And again, if you're post-vaccine, then you're not trying to sweat out a pathogen. We're really just all about relieving symptoms in this case. But doing pressure at gallbladder 20 is going to help to relieve those symptoms of feeling achy, feeling chilled, feeling like you want to cover up. Those symptoms can all be relieved with some pressure at gallbladder 20. Some people also experience fever post-vaccine, and you can use gallbladder 20 for that as well. Often you'll experience a combination of fever and chills. I had predominantly chills after my vaccine. I didn't really have a fever, but my skin did feel hot to the touch. And so often when there's an invading pathogen from the outside, you'll have a combination. Maybe you'll feel predominantly feverish, but want to cover up. Or like I did, you'll have chills, but your skin will be hot to the touch. You can use gallbladder 20 for all of that. Okay, so that's a really important point. It's going to help to relieve those aches and the chills and the fever. Next point is large intestine 4, located between the thumb and the forefinger. Large intestine 4 is contraindicated for acupuncture in pregnancy. So if you're pregnant, just skip this point. It's located right here on the fleshy area between the thumb and the forefinger. Really, this whole area you can press around and find a tender spot. Large intestine 4, and I just like to rub this in circles. Lots of people know this as a great point for headaches. It does work very well for any type of headache. So if you have headaches, I had headaches the whole next day after my vaccine. I was doing a lot of pressure here at large intestine 4. It really helps to relieve headaches. Large intestine 4 also helps to strengthen the immune system. So that's a good point to be doing anytime. And you can certainly do it after your vaccine because your immune system is working hard after you receive the vaccine. You want to give it a little boost. You can do large intestine 4 right here, both sides between the thumb and the forefinger. Next point is close to large intestine 4. This is lung 7. So the lung channel flows along this ridge. If you have your palm facing you, it flows along this upper ridge here, along the thumb side of the arm. And there's a bump right here, and large intestine 7 is just proximal to that, so a little bit closer to your body. Easiest way to find this is just join your this webbing here from your two hands, and then your index finger is naturally going to fall into lung 7 or close to lung 7. So right about here, and then just feel around for a tender spot. I'm going to show you on this side too. These webbings together, index finger. So my index finger goes a little past lung 7 on me. So I'm going to bring it back here. So here's lung 7. Lung 7 is a really good point for the neck. Really, any kind of neck conditions can be treated with lung 7. So if you have stiffness in your neck post-vaccine, or just body aches and wanting to cover up because you've got those kind of wind cold symptoms, lung 7 is going to help to ease that muscle tension in your neck. Lung 7 is also a good one for the immune system. So we use that with large intestine 4, great treatment for the immune system. All right, next point is also on the arm. This is pericardium 6. Now, some people are reporting feeling nausea after their vaccine. I didn't really experience that myself, but lots of people do. So here is a good point for nausea. This is pericardium 6, which is located on the palm side of the arm. The pericardium channel runs between these two tendons. So you've got two tendons right here in the center of your wrist. And the pericardium channel runs between these two. So try to locate the channel here between these two tendons right here. And the point that we're going to use, pericardium 6, is you're going to measure with 3 fingers from the wrist crease, and where your 3 fingers ends, right about here, is pericardium 6. So I'll show you on this side. Wrist crease, 3 fingers, there's pericardium 6. And again, just press around until you find a tender spot. Oh, that's tender on me. This is a great point for nausea. Really, really helps nausea. So if you're feeling nauseous, just do pressure on this point. Use both sides. You can also buy C-bands at a drugstore, and they are an elastic band with an acupressure bead, and it goes right here. These are great. They're designed for people who go on cruise ships, who are traveling and get seasick, but you can use them anytime you're feeling nauseous. They're great for pregnant people as well. So right here is pericardium 6, excellent point for nausea. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple of points on the lower leg as well. These 2 points are really close together. So first, I'm going to show you, they're both located just below the knee. Let me move my camera. Just below the knee and on the lateral or the outside of the lower leg. So the first one I show you is gallbladder 34. And to find gallbladder 34, you're going to find the head of the fibula. So you've got 2 bones in your lower leg. The tibia is the big bone in the front, and then the fibula is the little bone off to the side. So we're going to find the head of the fibula, and it's going to be like a bony protuberance right here. And you're going to go just a little bit down and just a little bit forward. And that point is very tender on me. It's tender on a lot of people. So head of the fibula, down and a little bit forward, and you're at gallbladder 34. This is a great point for the tendons and the muscles. So if you are experiencing muscle aches and just feeling achy, gallbladder 34 is a great point to do. Anything related to the tendons and the muscles. But if you've got that achy sensation post-vaccine, gallbladder 34 really helps with that. I'm going to show you on this side as well. So we're going to find the head of the fibula, this bony part right here, go a little bit down and forward, and there is gallbladder 34. Now, very close to gallbladder 34 is stomach 36. So the stomach channel is more on the front of the leg. The gallbladder channel is more on the side of the leg. So stomach 36 is, if you find the depressions below your kneecap, we call this the baby cow's nose, the outside nostril of the depression, we're going to measure the width of our 4 fingers from there. And right about there is stomach 36. Now, stomach 36, here's your tibia. Stomach 36 is just a little bit lateral and a little bit to the outside. So it's not all the way over here. That's the gallbladder channel. So just a little bit off of the tibia. You can also find stomach 36 by just running your fingers up the lateral or the outside of the tibia, the lateral side, and then as your tibia starts to flare up, your finger's naturally going to fall into a depression. That's stomach 36. Or again, you can measure from here. There's stomach 36. So stomach 36 and gallbladder 34 are very close to each other. So here's stomach 36, and here's gallbladder 34. So really close to each other. Stomach 36 is great for fatigue. It is a very tonifying point for the body. So it strengthens the chi, it fortifies the body, it's great for the immune system. So if you're having fatigue post-vaccine, which a lot of people do, stomach 36 is a great point, and it's going to boost your immune system. One of our ancient classical Chinese textbooks says that all diseases can be treated with stomach 36. So it's a really important point. We use it all the time in the clinic for acupuncture. So again, I'm going to show you on this side how to locate those 2 points in relation to one another. So we're going to measure from the depression below the kneecap, 4 fingers. So there's stomach 36. We can also follow the tibia, and as it flares up at the top on the outside, our finger is going to fall into a depression. So there's stomach 36, and then gallbladder 34. Here's the fibula down and front. There's gallbladder 34. So stomach 36 here, gallbladder 34 here. They're very close to each other, and you can do them at the same time. So if you have fatigue and muscle aches, then you can just do both of these together at the same time. And if you're not sure if you're in the right spot, the best thing to do is just feel around and find a tender spot and spend some time, do some gentle pressure or massage in circles, really whatever feels comfortable for you. All of these points are going to help if you are having post-vaccine symptoms. So again, we have gallbladder 20 located at the base of the skull, large intestine 4 between the thumb and the forefingers. Skip this one if you're pregnant. Lung 7 right here, just proximal to the wrist. Pericardium 6 if you're nauseous. And then on the leg we have stomach 36 and gallbladder 34. These points, if you do these points post-vaccine, they will really help with any side effects that you're having from the vaccine. Also, it's important to just rest, so allow your body to rest after the vaccine. If you can take the next day off from work or just plan to not do any strenuous activity the next day, that's a really great idea too. And also remember that the vaccine is going to protect you from getting really sick, but you can also still come into contact with this virus, and you can still contract this virus even if you've been vaccinated. So you still need to wear a mask and maintain your physical distance when you're around others. The CDC is issuing new guidelines all the time about activities that are safe for vaccinated and unvaccinated people. So just be sure to pay attention to what the CDC is saying as well and follow their instructions. All right, so now that we've spent some time doing acupressure, let's check back in with our bodies and just take a comfortable seat, feet on the floor, and just breathe for a few comfortable breaths. I'm going to close my eyes. You do what's comfortable for you. My head is feeling a little better. I'm a little less headachy. I'm still hungry though. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this acupressure session today. Thanks so much for joining us. Stay safe out there, and if you have any suggestions for other topics that you would like to see us cover, just let us know. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.